In the sixth video of the study of the Gospels, Herod, the king of the Jews, learns that Magi priests are looking for another king of the Jews, born in Bethlehem. Herod plans on killing that baby, based on information the Magi give him. The Magi find baby Jesus, back in Joseph and Mary's hometown Nazareth. They give him gifts and avoid Herod. Then, angel warns Joseph about Herod and he takes his family and flees to Egypt. When Herod finds out he was outplayed by the Magi, he slaughters all the children 2 years and younger, in Bethlehem and its districts. After Herod's death, Joseph and his family move back to Nazareth. And then, when Jesus is 12 years old, there is an incident when his parents leave him behind in Jerusalem. Harmony of the Gospels. Harmony 1, verses 53 to 66. The Magi priests bring gifts to Jesus in Nazareth and King Herod schemes to kill him. Matthew 2, verses 1 to 12. Now Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king. And behold, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem saying, somewhere nearby is the one who has been born, the King of the Jews. For we watched his star rising and have come to show him respect. Hearing this, King Herod and all of Jerusalem were troubled with him. And gathering all the chief priests and the theologians of the people, he inquired of them, where the Christ was to be born. They said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for so it is written through the prophet. And you Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the governors of Judah. For from you will come out the one who is to be a leader. He will shepherd my people Israel. Then, Herod secretly summoned the Magi and determined from them precisely when, and for how long, the star was visible. And having sent them to Bethlehem he said, as you travel, conduct a thorough search for the child. And when you have found him, report to me, so that I also may come, and pay my respect. After they listened to the king, they went out. And they saw the star which they had seen at its rising. It went before them, until it arrived and stood above the place, where the child was. And looking at the star, they rejoiced with very great joy. As they entered the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they fell down and paid their respect to him. Opening their treasure boxes, they offered him gifts of gold, and frankincense, and myrrh. And having been divinely commanded in a dream, not to return to Herod, they went back to their own country, by another route. Remarks on Harmony 1, verses 53 to 58. Magi from the east came to Jerusalem, asking for the whereabouts of boy Jesus, for he is the King of the Jews. The Magi were probably Zoroastrian priests, who were skilled in secret arts, astrology and interpretation of dreams. Zoroastrianism is an ancient non-Abrahamic religion that had concepts of monotheism, messianism, heaven, hell and judgment after death. It was closest at the time to the proper understanding of God among pagan religions. Armenians of today came from Zoroastrianism. They became the first nation to turn Christian in 301 AD, for the message of Christ did not sound foreign to them. At the time, Herod was the king of the Jews and he saw Jesus as threat to his throne. Herod spoke to the Magi, pretended to sympathize with Jesus and asked them to let him know when they find Jesus. The Magi went looking for him, by following a bright star. The star they had followed was traveling as a guiding light at much lower altitude than clouds, for it stopped right above the house. It was not a common star of the sky, for it would be too high up to distinguish a particular house from other homes in the area. It was traveling low, no higher perhaps than 1,000 feet. It was also illuminating the path for the Magi to travel in the darkness of night. That star was apparently a manifestation of one of the angels of the churches, who are described as stars in the supernatural world, in Revelation 1 verse 20. Joseph's family flees Nazareth to Egypt to escape Herod. Matthew 2, verses 13 to 15. After they had departed, behold, An angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph, saying, "Get up, take the child and his mother and flee to Egypt, and stay there until I tell you. For Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him." So he got up, took the child and his mother and went away to Egypt during the night. He was there until the death of Herod, so that it would be fulfilled what was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, "Out of Egypt I have called my son." Remarks on Harmony 1, verse 59. Per Adam Clarke. Many Jews had settled in Egypt. Those who could speak the Greek tongue enjoyed many advantages in that country. Besides, they had the Greek version of the Septuagint, which had been translated nearly 300 years before this time. Egypt was now a Roman province, and the rage of Herod could not pursue the Holy Family to this place. Herod slaughters all the boys 2 years old and under, of Bethlehem and its regions. Matthew 2, verses 16 to 18. Then Herod, seeing that he was outplayed by the Magi, became greatly enraged. He sent and executed all the children in Bethlehem and all of its districts, from the age of 2 years old and under, according to the precise time he had determined from the Magi. That was the time it was fulfilled, what was spoken through the prophet Jeremiah. A voice was heard in Ramah, a great requiem and mourning of Rachel weeping for her children. And she did not want to be comforted, because they are no more. Remarks on Harmony 1, verse 60. The Magi visited Jesus perhaps few months after his birth, back in Mary's hometown Nazareth. Yet Herod slaughtered all the children in Bethlehem and its regions up to 2 years old. Herod extended the age range up to 2 years, for the probable reasons. Since the Magi deceived him once, they could have also deceived him, concerning the time of his birth. Many young men of Herod who would do the killing, as most soldiers in foreign missions, have no families of their own, and cannot usually tell a precise age of a child. It is hard to distinguish the age of children in the darkness of night, during a violent resistance from their parents. Since that time, King Herod and his family feared that their throne might be taken away from them, for they did not know if they succeeded killing Jesus, who would be the King of the Jews. The slaughter was also a message to people, that the new King of the Jews born in Bethlehem, is dead. But some did not believe he was killed and the political messianic movement was established. The Jews believed that the Messiah, a Savior, would free them from oppression. When Jesus came 30 years later, it took him some effort to explain his followers, that he is not a political savior of the Jews or of the world, but the Savior of the world unto heaven. Joseph's family moves from Egypt back to Nazareth. Matthew 2, verses 19 to 23. Now Herod died. And behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, "Get up, take the child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel, because those who were seeking the life of the child are dead." So he got up, took the child and his mother, and entered the land of Israel. But hearing that Archelaus was reigning over Judea in place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there, and being divinely commanded in a dream, he retreated into the regions of Galilee. He came and lived in a town called Nazareth, so that what was said through the prophets would be fulfilled. He will be called a Nazarene. Remarks on Harmony 1, verses 61 to 62. Per Cambridge Bible. Archelaus a son of Herod the Great. His mother was Malthake, a Samaritan. After a cruel and disturbed reign of about 8 years, he was banished to Vienna in Gaul, the modern Vienne. His dominions, including Samaria, Judea, and Idumea, then passed into the direct government of Rome. An incident when boy Jesus was 12, and left behind in Jerusalem. Luke 2, verses 40 to 52. So the child was growing up, becoming strong and getting filled with wisdom. And the goodwill of God was upon him. His parents traveled every year to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. When he was 12 years old, they went up there, as per the custom of the festival. Now the days of the festival ended. As they were returning, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem. But his parents were not aware of it, supposing him to be in the caravan. So they traveled a day's journey. Then they searched for him among their relatives and the people they knew. Not finding him, they returned to Jerusalem looking for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking questions. All who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. When they saw him, they were upset, and his mother said to him, "Child, what is it that you did to us? Look, your father and I are tormented looking for you." He said to them, "Where did you look for me? Did you not know that I need to be involved in the things of my Father?" Yet they could not understand the meaning of what he told them. He went down with them and came to Nazareth, and was subordinate to them. And his mother kept all these words in her heart. And Jesus was advancing in wisdom and maturity, and in favor with God and people. Remarks on Harmony 1, verses 63 to 66. When Jesus was 12, he was mistakenly left behind in Jerusalem. After searching for 2 days, it occurred to Joseph and Mary to look for him at the temple. When they found him there, they were upset with him, despite of the fact that it was they who left Jesus behind. Jesus seemed surprised they could not find him for such a long time, for the temple is the most likely place he would be found. Verse 65c is the first record of the words of Jesus Christ. It is a message for anyone who wants to find Christ. The first place to look for him is in the church.